George, this is my painful ordeal. One early morning I woke up to find my daughter gone. Gone forever. She had died of suicide. Looking back, I realized that possibly I might have contributed a lot to her death, to her demise. Many a times when I would scold her, when I would compare her to other girls within the neighborhood, when I would restrict her movement, when I would even try to control the kind of friends she should move with, when I even tried one day, remember, barely reprimanding her boyfriend who had sneaked into our compound, and I was so tough on him. Looking back, I really regret the act. I don't remember moments when I spoke kindly to her, because to me, everything she did was wrong. Everything she said was wrong. I kept condemning her. I felt that she should act like her sisters. She should act like her siblings. It's not until that one day morning when I woke up to find my daughter gone. It pains. Viewer, welcome to part 3 of 8 signs that your child could be going through mental struggles. This is the third and the final episode on building the dike for your child, building the dike for your children. And I will be talking about the don'ts, because we lose it when we do what we shouldn't do. The don'ts, the things that we should never do, the things that we should never say to a child who is going through mental health struggles. As I go through the list of the don'ts, bear in mind of the case study that I have shared above. 1. Don't ignore warning signs. There are certain behavioral changes, characteristics that are very notable from a child, and it is very natural that at some point we are likely to be concerned that the behavioral changes that we are witnessing are not normal. All of those parents who have encountered a child with mental health, they'll tell you that, yes, I remember now, sometimes when he or she was in Form 1, in Form 2, sometime when the child was in primary school, maybe at college, I used to hear this, I used to see this. Unfortunately, most parents come to join the dots when it is too late, when either the child is gone, no more, or when the damage, the psychological wound, the trauma has been deepened so much that healing and restoration is a tall order. Many children, many young people lament that their parents keep repeating the same advice year in, year out. Many children, many youth are constantly lamenting that my father, my mother will repeat the same thing that they told me in January is the same thing they'll tell me throughout the year, even December. Even some children go to the extent of saying that I know what advice my parents will give me 2 years to come, meaning that you have become a nuisance. You have become monotonous. The more advice we give to the children, the more rebellious they become. The reason being, they get bored. They get worked up. It becomes a routine. It becomes something that is automatic, and therefore it is advisable that we give our children when they need the advice at that point when it's absolutely necessary, and even the depth to which we should go when giving out this advice, it matters a lot. So let us not kind of overwhelm our children with advice, repeating the same thing over and over. If a child is loose or has got what we might say maybe loose moral in quotes, then it is important that we also become sensitive to their feelings, become sensitive to their understanding, to what they see as being right and not being wrong. It is also important to factor in their perspective in regard to this, so that the advice is only meaningful to that point where we think it is really meaningful. 3. Patience with such a child is paramount. Let's not have expectations of instant improvement. It's like we expect them because we have already sent them to a therapist. We have given them we have responded to some of their concerns, and therefore we expect like they are going to kind of transform overnight. What we have to bear in mind that the wound, the damage, the psychological damage that has happened to these children didn't happen in one day, didn't happen in 1 week. It has been a process in their life. They're talking of almost what we may say a psychological ulcer that has built up in the mind over the years, over the decades, and we should not expect instant improvement. Let's be patient with our children. 4. Allow the child to take control of his or her own life. Don't try to set the pace or the frequency for the child to follow. Don't control the child with remote control, expecting that you are right and therefore the child has to toe your line. Don't be overprotective, like you want to build an umbrella over him or her, wanting to shape the direction, the course of the turn of event. Therefore, it's important to let the child have that upper hand of having to make his or her own decision while offering guidance and support, while standing by there, at least even asking, what do you think we should do in this case? That child, you're already beginning to empower him. You're already beginning to empower, rather to instill in him the lost sense of worthiness in him. Because if that child can begin to realize that his or her suggestion, opinion counts, then you will actually be setting him free. You will be enlarging him. You will be making him out of that child a giant and not a grasshopper. 5, and this is a very, very important one. Don't dismiss the feelings of the child. Every word that child utters counts. Every sentence that child with a mental health struggle makes carries a lot of weight. It speaks volumes. It is an encyclopedia of what the child is going through. Every suggestion, every word, every point that proceeds from the mouth of a child going through mental health carries a lot of weight, and it spells what this child is going through, and therefore it will be catastrophic to ignore the sentiments, the opinions, the suggestions of this child. And it is important to ensure that we are sensitive to the feelings of this child. To us, they may sound silly, they may sound abstract, they may sound kind of ambiguous, or maybe something that is not worth considering. But remember, you are dealing with a special child, a child with a special need, and therefore it is only what proceeds from the mouth of that child that will appropriately define what that child is going through and what that child wants. Don't dismiss the feelings, the suggestions, the opinions of that child. If anything, they should be given precedence, consideration, and acted upon. 6. Don't try to shame the child. Many parents have a habit of trying to shame the child. While shaming a child may have positive effects on some children, on some other children it could have extremely dire negative consequences. It could send the child to the bottomless pit. Trying to shame the child, while in some children it could force them to pull up their socks, but in some children it could send them way far into the corner away from other children, away from the family. Some people will often compare this child to their brother's children. For example, like, why can't you be like so and so? Why can't you act like so and so? Why are you not like so and so? And what you are simply doing to your child, you're planting a seed of hatred, a seed of resentment to this child, to the extent that by the time you are done, the child will be hating all the people that you compared to him or to her. The child will be hating everyone with whom you compared him to. And therefore, do not compare the child. Don't try to shame them. 7. Many parents want to be in control of the conversation. They always want to have the upper hand. They want to be respected. They want to be obeyed. They want to be recognized. And this is where now we lose it. Don't try to force them to say something. Don't try to force them to respond to your concerns. You may have valid concerns. You may have genuine opinion. Do not try to force them in the direction that is right for you, because the direction that is right for you may not necessarily be right for them. Don't force them. When your child shall say, Mom, Dad, I don't want to talk about this, and many of them will say, Your story die. Watch your story it die. When your children have kind of a reason, or rather they have come to that point where they cannot express themselves anymore, where they feel like any further conversation on the same subject is hurting them, let it go. Don't force the conversation. End the conversation. 8. Don't use words that compare your children's problem with the problem of other children. Many parents have a habit of saying that you may be going through this, but there are other children who are going through worse situation than this, and therefore you are trying to compare their problem with the problem of others. We have to bear in mind that everybody's problem is unique and peculiar to that person. They will never be the same. And also we have to bear in mind that the resilience in each child is different. The ability to heal, the ability to bounce back, the ability to decipher, to understand the complexities of these problems vary from one child to the other. Your child's problem is unique, different, and important in its own way, and you should never compare it to the child of parent or family XYZ. Mental health is contagious. If you are that parent or a member of the family living with someone who is going through mental health struggles, you can be assured that you will contract the problem. It is the same light, in the same spirit, that caregivers who take care of terminally ill persons end up traumatized. They end up contracting an emotional imbalance where they will also be going through serious trauma, serious psychological struggles within them. And therefore, when you are taking care of such a child, it is important also for you to take care of yourself. Don't neglect yourself. From time to time, seek for a therapist, for someone to download your issues. Don't neglect yourself. Take care of yourself. Seek also for therapy services where you will tell the story. In counseling, we talk of storytelling, where we talk of the river of life. You have to talk about the story. You have to talk about the ordeal. It is the best way to release, to discharge. You may not have that therapist near your place, or maybe you may not afford the cost, even if it will mean to go and talk to the tree about what you are going through. Even if it means going to talk to the river, talking to the wind, then you may have to do that, basically for your own personal psychological health. Lastly, it's about compassion. Compassion may be related with all the points that I've said, but I would love to have compassion as a point on its own. By compassion, it simply means that you have to virtually wear the shoes of your child. You have to be in the position of your child. You have to empathize. You have to feel yourself in his chest, in her chest, and see things from her or his point of view. You have to kind of understand. You have to bear in mind that this child has no one else to look up to except you. That this child has no wall to lean on except you. That this child only has you. Be compassionate, be understanding, and be loving. And even as I conclude, remember that mental health struggles in our children emanate from the relationship between the father and the mother. If there is anything that we can hold and cherish, it is that bond. Any parent who loves and cares about the children would pay any price to safeguard and protect his or her children. And the price is to build the relationship between you and your partner. Thank you so much for accompanying me in this journey, in these 3 episodes of 8 signs that your child could be going through mental struggles. I really appreciate you. I don't take your time for granted. Have you liked the content? Please subscribe to the channel, click the bell, click the like. Join a movement of progressive parents who are interested in safeguarding and building a safe wall around our children. Thank you, and God bless you.